Two remaining men accused of taking part in the murder of Ramiro Munoz Jr. will each serve 8 years in prison. Grant County Superior Court Judge John Nodal disregarded the joint recommendation of the prosecution and defense when he sentenced 22-year-old Eddie Alvarez Hernandez and 21-year-old Erwin Vasquez. Both men entered Alford pleas to rendering criminal assistance in the first degree in relation to the Munoz murder. Alvarez Hernandez also pleaded to tampering with a witness. Vasquez pleaded guilty to unlawful possession of a firearm in an unrelated case. Members of the family spoke about the pain and loss of Munoz. A third gang member was sentenced for shooting Munoz after the victim confronted gang members in Quincy about the use of a pistol in a park while the Munoz family was holding a reunion. You can read more about this story and the victim's family's comments online at iFIBER1.com/news. Turning to Northwest news, the western rattlesnake is not native to western Washington, where it is usually too cold and damp, so no one knows how one came to be sunning itself on a rock wall in North Seattle. King TV reports someone reported the snake to the Seattle Animal Shelter. The State Fish and Wildlife Department helped the shelter in moving the snake yesterday to eastern Washington, where it should feel more at home. The western rattlesnake is classified as an exotic animal under the Seattle Municipal Code and is illegal within the city limits. Dozens of people have reported feeling a 4.3 magnitude earthquake that rocked central Washington. One person in Boardman, Oregon, roughly 150 miles away from the epicenter, reported on the U.S. Geological Survey's website they felt the shaking last night. The Wenatchee World reports there were no initial reports of damage or injuries after the 7:45 p.m. quake. Centered 14 miles northwest of Leavenworth, the tremor was felt in that city, as well as in Wenatchee, Chelan, and the Methau Valley. Using marijuana is legal, and soon the state will allow manufacturing and retail sales. One man had an idea for a niche market and started working on his plan already.
It's feeding time. And not just any old slop. These hogs live the high life on Jeremy Gross's farm.
I'll feed them daily. I add that mix to it daily.
That mix includes plenty of leafy greens.
It's almost like an alfalfa-fed cow or an alfalfa-fed pig.
But no alfalfa here. Instead, this is marijuana.
Everybody's like, well, I guess it's legal now. Go ahead and try it.
When marijuana became legalized, absolutely, you know, it's a good opportunity to help people get rid of their waste.
Gross and butcher William von Schneidow cooked up the idea to use the byproduct from a medical marijuana dispensary.
We just wanted you to try it.
At Seattle's Pike Place Market, von Schneidow's shop sells these pot pigs at a premium price.
It's got a kick to it.
Yeah.
It tastes like good pork chop.
Whether it's gimmick or green farming, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which regulates feed additives, hasn't signed off on the cannabis concoction being fed to the pigs. So if you feel a little heady, it could be the pot-bellied pigs. Jeannie Ohm, Associated Press.
Washington state representatives say they have reached a final budget deal that will avert a government shutdown. Democratic Representative Ross Hunter said he and his Republican counterpart and the Senate finalized the new spending plan this morning. He declined to discuss details of the final plan until he could brief his colleagues. Hunter says lawmakers are looking for a vote on the measure on Friday. Lawmakers were supposed to complete their budget work in April, but have been quarreling for weeks over a variety of tax and policy proposals. Much of the state government would have shut down if the legislature fails to approve the new budget by Monday. That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.